Hello everyone, this is your girl, Angie Herenick of Evangeline's B&B and Queen of Cuisine, and today I'm taking a break from cooking to be able to share a message with you today regarding marriage and how much of a gift from God it is, and how much we need to remain in God's love. So there's 4 components that I'm going to share with you during this talk today. The first one is commitment, the next one is teamwork, the next is respect, and the fourth is about forgiveness. So those of you who believe in Jehovah God, or maybe not, I hope that you find this information to be helpful in your marriages and your relationships. Okay? So let's get right to it. Commitment, what it means. Husbands and wives who are committed to their marriage view it as a permanent bond, and that creates a sense of security between them. Each spouse is confident that the other will honor the union even in difficult times. Some couples feel compelled to stay together because of the social or family pressure. Far better, however, is a sense of commitment that is based on mutual love and respect. The Bible principle here, a husband should not leave his wife. That is found in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 11. If you are committed to your marriage, you allow yourself to be wronged. You are quick to forgive and quick to apologize. You view problems as obstacles, not as deal breakers. Why it matters? When confronted with problems, spouses without commitment are more likely to conclude we just weren't made for each other and look for ways to get out of the marriage. Many people go into marriage knowing that they have a fallback plan, divorce. When people enter marriage already thinking about the possibility of divorce, their commitment is lacking right from the start. What can you do? Test yourself. When in the middle of a dispute, do you find yourself regretting that you married your spouse? Do you daydream about being with someone else? Do you say things such as, "I'm leaving you," or "I'm going to find someone who appreciates me"? If you answered yes to one or more of those questions, now is the time to strengthen your commitment. Discuss with your spouse. Has the level of commitment in our marriage decreased? If so, why? What steps can we take now to strengthen our commitment? Here are a few tips. Write an occasional love note to your spouse. Show your commitment by displaying photos of your spouse on your desk at work. Phone your spouse each day while you are at work or apart. The Bible principle here, what God has yoked together, let no man put apart. The next part is teamwork. What it means. When there is teamwork in a marriage, a husband and wife are like a pilot and co-pilot with the same flight plan. Even when challenges arise, each spouse thinks in terms of we rather than me. The Bible principle here, they are no longer two, but one flesh. That's found in Matthew chapter 9, verse 6. Marriage is not a solo act. Husband and wife must work together to make it successful. Why it matters? When a conflict arises, a husband and wife who are not a team will tend to attack each other rather than the problem. Minor issues will turn into major obstacles. Teamwork is the essence of marriage. If my husband and I were in a team, we would be roommates instead of marriage mates. 2 people who live together but who aren't on the same page when it comes to important decisions. So test yourself. Do I view the money I earn as all mine? To relax fully, do I need to be away from my spouse? Do I keep my distance from my spouse's relatives even though he or she is close to them? Then discuss with your spouse. In what aspects of our marriage do we work well as a team? In what aspects could we improve? What steps can we take to improve our spirit of teamwork? Here are a couple of tips. Imagine a tennis match with the two of you on opposite sides of the net. Instead, what practical steps can you take to join your spouse so that you are both on the same team? Instead of thinking, how can I win? Think, how can we both win? Forget about who is right and who is wrong. That isn't as important as having peace and unity in your marriage. The Bible principle here is look out not only for your own interests, but also for the interests of others. That's found in Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. The next is respect. What it means? Respectful spouses care about each other, even during a disagreement. These couples don't get gridlocked in their separate positions, says the book 10 Lessons to Transform Your Marriage. Instead, they keep talking with each other about the conflicts. They listen respectfully to their spouse's perspectives, and they find compromises that work for both sides. The Bible principle, love does not look for its own interests. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 and 5. Micah says, to respect my wife means that I respect her value and I don't want to do anything that would damage her or our marriage. Why it matters? Without respect, conversations between spouses can become laced with criticism, sarcasm, and even contempt. Qualities that researchers say are early predictors of divorce. Making snide remarks, innuendos, or jokes about your wife or husband will only crush their confidence, destroy their trust, and damage your marriage. What you can do? Test yourself. Track your conversation and actions for at least a week. Then ask yourself, how often did I criticize my spouse? And how often did I give him or her a compliment? In what specific ways did I show respect for my spouse? Then discuss with your spouse what actions and words would help each of you feel respected. And what actions and words make each of you feel disrespected. A couple of tips. Write down 3 ways you would like to be shown respect. Have your spouse do the same. Exchange the lists and work on showing respect in the areas that were identified. Make a list of traits that you admire about your spouse. Then tell your spouse how much you appreciate those traits. To respect your husband or wife means that you show by your actions that you value him or her and that you want them to be happy. It isn't always a grand gesture. Sometimes a series of small acts can demonstrate genuine respect. In the end, it is not a matter of whether you view yourself as respectful or not. It is a question of whether your spouse feels respected. The Bible principle here is clothe yourselves with the tender affections of compassion, kindness, humility, mildness, and patience. That's all we got to do. If we follow these 4 components of marriage, we may find ourselves in a happier relationship. And let's just remember, in the end, marriage ultimately is a very, very precious gift from God. And we must do all that we can to remain in God's love. I hope you appreciate this information, and I see you next time. Bye.